Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video, we are going to be doing something a bit different. And for absolutely ages now, I've wanted to be including more gameplay on the channel, but I've never quite known what games to play. And yeah, I was thinking about it recently, and I was like, let's do something a bit different. So what we're actually going to be doing is looking at the worst games ever released. Yeah, I know, I'm a glutton for punishment. So, rightly or wrongly, I don't know how this is going to go. But, yeah, so what I've done is we're going to be using the game's Metacritic score to decide what ones we're going to be playing. So, I've got on Metacritic, looked up, and basically got a list of all the various platforms. And, yeah, what I'm going to look to do is, over time, any that I don't currently have in the collection, I'm going to look to add so that we can do these worst game videos. But what I am also going to do is I'm also going to include a couple of rules in this. So we're only going to be looking at games that received a physical release. So no Xbox 360 arcade or anything like that. Just purely because with some of the older platforms, it's going to be a lot harder to get hold of the games. So I'm just thinking, let's make it easy. Physical across the board. We like that anyway with the collection. But the other rule is going to be that the game has to have been released in PAL regions. Now, as I was going through, this was something that I sort of come across sort of later on in my sort of research of what games we're going to be looking at. I think it was when I got to things like the Xbox and the Xbox 360. I was finding that a lot of the lowest rated games on those platforms were US only. So I think like I'd gone through like a whole page of games on, I think it was the Xbox 360, and none of them had been released in PAL regions. So yeah, so physical release, PAL release only. And for today's game, we are going to be jumping onto the PS4/PS5. And this is a game called Road Rage, sorry. Now, I remember picking this up and doing the pickups video, and for some reason, I just got it into my head that this was part of the Road Rash series of games. I think because it had road in the title and it was on bikes, I'd just sort of 2 + 2 = 10. So I have no clue why I ever assumed it. I did play it at the time for that video, but I think what we'll do today is we'll go through the video, go through it together, suffer together, as I want to say. But yeah, so what we'll do is let me get it installed on the PS5. We'll get it all set up, and yeah, we'll go through some gameplay. Okay, so we're all set up, ready to go. So let's dive into Road Rage. Yeah. Yeah, not worried about that. So this game was released on the 14th of November 2017 by Team 6 Game Studios. And Road Rage is set in an open world fictitious city of Ashen, and players ride around on a motorcycle and are free to explore the city at their own leisure. The city itself is divided into 7 districts ranging from the downtown core to the suburban farmland, and the gameplay is mostly comprised of standard circuit races and time trials. And yeah, you can see straight off the bat, to me, I don't know, it just looks like an asset flip, but I'm probably completely off base with that. So let's dive in.
5 years ago, the city of Ashen was voted one of the most culturally diverse cities in the world. Ashen was a vibrant, great place to live. But this is now. Social problems have overrun the modern world, and also the city of Ashen. Exactly 5 years ago makes the day all hell broke loose. Day 1. We all knew too well that we were slowly being killed by the multinationals before day 1. But knowing is different than realizing or acting. On day one, the 95% decided to push back. The small group that started the call to arms for freedom grew exponentially to millions of backers in just one day. The world as we knew it suddenly came to an end. Unable to take back control, the authorities constructed a high wall topped by razor wire around each district, forcing the inhabitants within to survive on their own behind a containment wall. Police checkpoints stopped anybody going in or out. Within months, the districts were overrun by biker gangs terrorizing defenseless citizens. Now, these gangs do whatever they want. They take your money, your TV, and your girlfriends. They are bad to the bone. Few dare to resist, especially here in Subtroit, where it's the worst. The government abandoned us. There's only one language Subtroit speaks now, and that's brutal violence.
I just looking at the sort of the graphics, it doesn't look nice. And you think this was a PS4 game released in 2017. Yeah. Well, what we'll do is we'll play a bit of the game and then we'll go through some of the reviews. Wow. Okay, so take down the specific number of riders within the time limit. What have I got to do? That's it, just a point race. Right, so there's CPU characters. Have I got to take them out? Not crash into a wall like that. Right, so it looks like there's characters up in front. Got to take down two players, or two of the NPCs. Braking's horrible. There you go, there's one, there's two. There you go, you can have a third for free as well. Alright, so we've got loading screens.
Special deliveries to North 5 and North 2. 7 runs are due and the clock is ticking. Sonia, they're all yours. You got 7 minutes.
7 minutes for 7 runs? Are you kidding? I'm still recovering from the beating last week, and in this condition, I'm never, ever going to make that. Come on, give me a break.
The clock is ticking. You want to keep your job or what? I've got 10 others waiting in line to replace you tomorrow. Hungry to do twice the runs you do, slacker. Give me those runs, Sonia. I'll do them for you. I'll even do them in 4 minutes easily. Those idiots from North 5 are way too slow to steal my deliveries.
The voice work isn't great either. Right, so I'm assuming I've got to get to that star. Right, time trial. Finish. Press the button before I even read it. Right, so after it's basically got to, get to the finish line before time runs out. 1 minute 20. Yeah, that's not going to help my time. Well, I can definitely say this is no Grand Theft Auto. Ah, wasn't it? I was even looking at the cars. I was looking at the checkpoint. Don't even know how many checkpoints I've got to hit. Well, that looks like yellow, so maybe that's the end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just sort of a by the numbers time trial.
Here you go, boss. 21K for the 7 deliveries. All customers paid without making any trouble. Ah, good, good. They know they won't get their goods from you if they don't pay. You're too fast for that. For a bike messenger, you're a good guy. Now here's your share. $210. Minus my own fee. That makes it $105. I'll wire it right now. Thanks. Still hurts to see all that money go to those thugs for protection, though. Don't think too much about that, son. That's just Subtroid. And you know that'll never change.
Wait, I've got someone else on the line. Yeah? Who's this? What the fuck do you mean the quality wasn't what you expected? What do you think we are, fucking magicians? We just deliver your shit and that's all. We aren't even supposed to know what's inside those packages. What did you just call me? You didn't just call me that. Listen to me, creep. If you talk to me like... What? You hung up on me.
Yeah, that was real customer service, Sonia. What do you think they'll do now?
They're all outside.
Stay inside. I'll handle this.
So, got to get in here somehow. Rider in last place, right, so this is now your standard elimination game. Yeah. At the end of each lap, rider in last place, please. Ow. Okay. I've just noticed that as you're sort of going around the corner, it doesn't even lean. How can you ride a motorbike upright like that? I don't ride... I'm not a big motorbike guy, but even I know when you're turning, you've got to lean. It's just... Oh, don't... just... I can see why this was rated so badly. The graphic for the PS4, the graphic, I would say graphically this is more of a PS3. I think that's being generous. Oh, the controls are horrible and all. Braking, there's just literally no brakes. Turning is if it decides to. Oh, there you go. Look, I'm leaning now. It's horribly inconsistent. And that's me. I'm out in front, and literally I've got like one little red dot that's coming up behind me. And I'm sort of well out in front. No, I'm just about to go into the last lap. No, I'm not. I've got 2 more laps. You ain't taking my first place. At least I've now got something to do. I can chase after him. So, thankfully, we're going into the last lap. So what we've done what they're calling a time trial and an elimination. So, where do we do the actual race? Best way to play the right, so that's probably the best way to play this. So you just take your finger off the accelerator and just let it sort of coast around the corner. Is going to be your best way to play it. Don't bother with a brake. And there you go. There you go. I've upgraded as well, so I've gone from a baseball bat to a crowbar.
Yo, Sonya, you know they hired you just for your looks, right? Everyone knows you can't handle bikes as well as you do men.
So your monkey brain learned how to formulate words. That must be very shocking to most. Now shut the fuck up, please, so we can get back to work here.
Yeah, work. You're all a bunch of losers. And losers don't deserve the bikes you're riding. I think my men would love to have some new rides. And by rides, I mean both bikes and girls, of course.
So you say we've got no skills? Put your skills where your mouth is, Mr. Tough Guy. Let's battle. If my skills are better than yours, you'll apologize to her and harass someone else today. And if your skills turn out to be better than mine, your crew will see that you're more than just Mr. Braggomatic. Do we have a deal?
Yeah. Right, where have I got to go for this? This is probably the loosest. Describing this as an open world game is probably as loose as you can. I wouldn't. Right, yes, it's these parts are open world, but yeah, it's just. Oh, I was going the right way. Right, so this will hopefully be a race. A stunt. Perform jumps, near misses, and wheelies to win. Okay, this will be interesting. With minimal steering and no brakes. Perform the required amount of jumps, near misses, and wheelies to win. Airtime completed. Right, I need to get 5 near misses. And you got 50 seconds to do it. What? That's a near miss, isn't it? Run out of time. Dare I restart? Bore off. Right, I'm restarting that. Not going round and round doing those jumps. Right, so I have 3 seconds of airtime. Oh, you're having a laugh. Really? We're going to fail this one as well. Oh, we didn't. How did we get the airtime then? I don't know. I really don't know. But let's have a quick look at some of the reviews that this has got. So it had a total Metacritic score of 26 out of 100. Had a user score of 2.4%. And yeah, the worst critic rating, I'm going to move this onto this screen so I can see it a bit better. So the worst critic rating come from Worth Playing. There's no dancing around it. Road rage is terrible. From the gameplay mechanics to the presentation, nothing is done right, and every moment spent in this game makes you question why you have it in the first place. I will agree with that. The only reason I picked it up was I didn't know what it was at the time. Unless you're trophy hunting, there are much better PS4 titles that are worthy of your time. So yeah, that I think is a very accurate review. Next up, we've got the best review for this game, which was Impulse Gamer, which gave it a rating of 40 out of 100. The repetition and painfully irritable audio had me moving on to my next title much quicker. If I were to give a few pointers to the team in the hopes to reclaim my attention, I would say bigger diversity in mission types and more content perhaps. No, definitely a better... bigger diversity in mission types and more content. Perhaps, no, definitely a better sound team on hand for the future. I don't normally give bad reviews. Normally, I can find a little something to keep me going. Sadly, however, this time it was sadly, however, not this time. It was a shame too. I've been so looking forward to the potential of a new Road Rash. Maybe I just need to try more games, but it's just not winning me over. So they said about Road Rash. So I might have picked up somewhere that this was a spiritual successor or a badly done sequel. I don't know. But the next up, we've got a couple of user reviews. I'm not going to read out their names, just going to sort of give you their scores and their sort of comments. So the first one that we've got, the worst rating on this was a 0 out of 5. Worst video game experience in my life. That's coming from someone who's beaten Goat Simulator. This game is very unique in the way that I can't think of a single thing it did right. Not a tiny little something. Everything is utterly bad. Absolute talentless product. I never ever saw something like this. That's quite a brutal takedown. Even the fact I've even beaten Goat Simulator. And then next up, the best rating for this was a 4 out of 5. The game is an open world racer in the vein of the most recent Forza Horizon games. No, I'm sorry, no. It is nothing like Forza. Forza looks stunning, plays brilliantly, controls amazing. This is none of that. So, no, don't agree with that. But looks more like GTA's San Andreas clone. No! No! Albeit one in which you can't leave your motorcycle. Like any open world game, the world is divided up into districts. Sadly, it's not open for much exploration off the rip. If you leave the area of your current objectives, the current objectives you are on, you'll immediately gain the attention of law enforcement in the area, and they will try and likely succeed at making you eat pavement. Okay, that's got me a bit intrigued. Let's have a look. Let me switch back, and if we continue, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore the phone call. And can we get a map? Right, so here we go. So we're we're here. And what do we do? Should we go up or should we go down? Tell you what, we've got a turning. So the next right turning will take us to this district up here. So we can have a look. Let's do that. Sorry for the alerts keep popping up. I've, disconnected. Okay, legally entered forest. We've got bloody tanks. What the? This is mad. Busted. Oh, right, wait there. Right, so where we got? So, next turning on the right, up here. This will take us. Go away, I don't want to answer your call. Alright, here we go. I've illegally entered wherever it is. Go, I've illegally entered downtown now. So I've gone through one place into another. Where's the police? Ah, damn it. See, I'm all over the shop, entering all these illegal places. Yeah, so basically it's a bit like the old, like the original sort of GTAs and GTA 3 where you're sort of locked to an area, obviously until you progress to a certain point. But you just look at how these sort of police vehicles are flying all over the shop. Wouldn't exactly say that they're giving me a hard time though. Okay, I've upgraded my motorbike. There we go. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say that I'm being majorly inconvenienced by the police. It's more the cars. Yeah, definitely. I'll even sort of like meander through. Oh no, I've got to turn. Squeeze through. Oh, I'm not even pressing the accelerator. I'm literally just letting the bike roll. There you go. I haven't even got anyone following me. So I'm hearing the sort of police sirens. I've got a 5-star wanted level. And, yeah, no police. And as we say, we've got another... Oh, there we go, look. There we go, they finally took me down. You failed to outsmart the cops. Yeah, just because I was sort of coasting. Yeah, I would say that definitely lives up to its awful reputation. Yeah, it is just... as a lot of those reviews were saying, it just doesn't do anything right. As we saw there, we went into other districts that we shouldn't have been, and even now you're sort of looking at the police vehicles in the back, and there just seems to be no AI built into these at all. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. And what gets me is that it got a physical release. I would have expected this. It wouldn't have been forgivable, but it wouldn't have been as bad if it was a digital only. But this was a physically released game, and it was released in this sort of condition. As I say, for 2017, I think the graphics are massively substandard. I will admit, the audio, I don't really have a problem with the audio. I've had it playing through my headphones the whole time, and yeah, let's say I've heard a lot worse audio. So yeah, the couple of people that complained about the audio, I didn't really have that much of an issue. I will say, when you look at things like the voice work, that was awful. And yeah, it is just, I mean, sort of the mechanics, the gameplay, the controls are god awful. As I say, the brakes just don't seem to function at all. It's like if you know about sort of cars and sort of anything like that, you normally, what you have to do is when you replace brake pads, you do what's called bleeding the brakes, and you take air out of the brake system. And if you don't, the brakes just, they work at like a percentage of what they should do. And that's what it feels like with this. It feels like the brakes are operating at like 20% of what they should do. Turning, yeah, once again, it's unless you're in the exact way that the bike wants you to, be, it's not going to turn. And then you're seeing, as you saw in the gameplay as well, we were getting bugs where we'd go around a corner and the player character just wouldn't lean. Yeah, very, 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 very bad game. As I say, when I played it for the gameplay on the channel, it was, yeah, it wasn't great then, and definitely isn't now. I think, let's see, here we go. Oh, you can't see because I'm in the way. Let me move, let me just take the camera off for a minute. Oh, and it stopped. So the mini-map down the bottom corner there was sort of flicking around. So it'd be like, it was just sort of like inverting each time. Yeah, it's very buggy. It's not a well put together game. It really isn't. And don't get me wrong. It's a difficult one for me because I know that people have put work into this. But it's just, they could have done so much more. I don't want to sit here bad mouthing someone's work, because I know personally how much work goes into these. I've done game development before, both for a studio and for myself, so I know how much work goes into these sort of games. But there's just too many points where the game falls on. I think if it looked bad but controlled really well, fine, that could be accepted. Once again, as I say, I don't have a massive issue with the audio. Even the voice work, it was bad, but it was bearable. It is just the fact that you've got the graphics, the gameplay, the voice work, the controls, and everything across the board sort of all comes together to make this a bad game. But as I say, that is why we're going to be doing these games on the channel. The whole point is for us to have a look at these bad games and for me to experience them and you to sit back there and watch as I suffer. But with that said, that is going to wrap up today's video. I am going to go and uninstall this from the PS5 and then we will move on to the next one. Hopefully in a few weeks' time. I've already got the next one lined up. But with that said, thank you so much for watching today. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button down the bottom. And also let me know in the comments down below, is there a game that you would like me to feature on the worst games videos that we're going to be doing? But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.